There is a small cafe on the corner of Maple Street. You won't find it on any map. Most people walk past it without even noticing, because this cafe only opens after midnight, when the city is quiet, and the world feels a little softer. People say the cafe has a soul of its own, lights warm like candle flame, air smelling of vanilla and old books, and music that seems to understand your heart, before you even speak. The owner is an old man named Elias, white hair, soft eyes, and a voice that makes you feel like you've known him forever. Every night, Elias unlocks the door exactly at 12:01 a.m., and every night, someone new walks in with a story they don't know how to carry. Tonight, it was raining, not the harsh kind, just a soft, steady rain, that makes the streets glow under the streetlights. At 12:17 a.m., the door opened, and a young man walked in. He looked like someone who had been holding his breath for too long. His jacket was soaked, his hair messy, and his eyes tired in a way that didn't come from lack of sleep, but from life. He sat at the far corner table, the one next to the old piano. Elias approached with a gentle smile. "Long night?" he asked. The young man nodded slowly. "Feels like a long year," he replied. Elias placed a warm cup of caramel coffee in front of him. "On the house," he said, "people who come here after midnight are usually carrying something heavy." The young man didn't argue. He wrapped his hands around the cup, as if trying to borrow warmth from something he could still trust. "My name is Nathan," he said quietly. "I used to come to this neighborhood years ago, before everything changed." Elias sat down across from him. "I'm listening," he said. Nathan took a breath, the kind of breath people take when they're finally ready to say something they've been avoiding for too long. "I had a brother," he began, 2 years younger. His name was Aaron." Elias didn't move, didn't blink too fast, didn't interrupt. "He passed away last winter," Nathan continued. "It was sudden, a car accident. I got the phone call at 2 a.m. His voice cracked a little, but he kept going. "Since then, every night feels the same, quiet, heavy, like the world keeps moving, but I'm stuck in the moment I lost him." Elias nodded slowly, as if he understood the shape of Nathan's silence. For a while, they just sat there, the rain tapping softly against the windows, the warm lights leaving gentle shadows on the walls, the piano beside them whispering old memories. Then Elias asked, "Did your brother ever come here?" Nathan looked up, surprised. "No," he said, "but we always talked about opening a place like this one day. A small cafe, late-night music, warm lights, where people could come when they didn't know where else to go." Elias smiled. "A dream cafe." Nathan nodded. "A dream we never had the chance to chase." Elias stood and walked toward the piano. He pressed one key gently. A low, warm note filled the room. "This piano," he said, "belonged to my wife." He touched the wooden frame softly. "She passed away 12 years ago. 4 months I didn't play a single note." Nathan watched him quietly. "One night," Elias continued, "a stranger came in. He sat right where you're sitting. He said he had nowhere else to go, that night. For the first time since losing her, I played this piano again." He turned to Nathan. "Pain doesn't shrink," he said softly, "but we grow around it." Nathan lowered his eyes. The words hit him somewhere deep. At 1:03 a.m., the door opened again. A woman entered, umbrella dripping, coat wrapped tightly around her, eyes red like she had been crying for hours. Elias smiled at her. "Back tonight, Maya?" She nodded, "Yes. I couldn't sleep." Nathan watched her. She sat at the table near his, hands trembling slightly, as she removed her gloves. Elias brought her a cup of lavender tea. Maya whispered, "Thank you. I don't know why, but this place makes me feel safe." Nathan hesitated, then he said softly, "This is my first time here." She smiled the kind of smile that holds a small amount of sadness. First time is always the hardest, she said, but it gets easier. Nathan asked, you come here often? She took a long breath. Every few nights. My husband passed away last year. Her voice too soft to break. Sometimes the nights feel too loud at home, here. It feels like the world slows down, just enough to let me breathe. Nathan felt something shift inside him, a tiny connection, that only people who have lost someone understand. Elias let them talk. He cleaned the counter, refilled the sugar jars, adjusted the lights, and let the moment settle. At 2 a.m., the rain stopped, silence fell over the cafe, like a soft blanket. Maya looked at Nathan and said, do you ever feel like grief is a room you can't leave? Nathan nodded, all the time. And yet, she said, we're here, in this cafe, talking, breathing, existing. She paused, that means we haven't given up yet. Nathan didn't reply, but something in his chest felt a little less heavy. At 2:17 a.m., Elias dimmed the lights. Closing soon, he said gently, one more hour. Nathan looked around the cafe, the warm walls, the quiet piano, the soft music, the two people who felt like strangers, yet carried the same kind of brokenness he did. Before he could speak, Elias walked toward him holding a small notebook. This, he said, is for people who come here with stories they don't know how to say out loud. Nathan opened the notebook. Inside were small notes, dozens of them, left by people just like him. I miss her every day. I'm learning to forgive myself. I'm trying to start again. I don't know who I am without him. I survived another night. Nathan stared at the pages, then slowly, he picked up the pen. He wrote, I'm still learning how to live without my brother, but tonight, for the first time, I didn't feel alone. He closed the notebook gently, and placed it back on the shelf. Maya smiled at him, with quiet understanding. Elias said, you're welcome here anytime. Nathan stood up, thank you, he whispered, to both of you. He walked to the door, stopped for a moment, and turned back. This place, it feels like a light, for people who get lost in the dark. Elias's eyes softened. That's what midnight cafes are for, Nathan. The door closed behind him. The night was calm. The air smelled like wet pavement, and a little bit of hope. Inside, the candle on Maya's table flickered softly. She whispered, see you again, Elias. Always, he replied. At 3:01 a.m., Elias locked the cafe door. The sign dimmed. The street fell quiet again. But inside the walls of that small midnight cafe, three lonely souls had shared something rare, a moment of understanding, a breath of peace, and the beginning of something new. And tomorrow night, when the clock strikes 12:01 a.m., the cafe will open again, waiting for the next broken heart that needs a warm light in the middle of the night.